Okay, so good day again, no? So now we'll have our new lecture about the sustainable and resilient housing. But before we dive in with this lecture, no? So let's have a recap of our um last lecture, which is the affordable housing, no, in affordable housing design and inclusive communities, no? And the principles within the context of the Philippines. So basically, to wrap up things with our previous lecture, so again, housing is more than just a shelter. It's not just a roof, no, over someone's head, but it is a foundation for health, safety, education, livelihood, and dignity as well. So without a decent housing, families struggle to break free from poverty. So um in our rapid urbanization, no, informal settlements and recurring natural disasters challenge us on how affordable housing becomes even more critical. So when we talk about incremental housing, no, and sweat equity as well, microfinance and community-based design, these are not just abstract ideas, but they are lifelines, no, for millions of Filipinos to afford a decent housing. So tayo, no, as architects, no, our role is not just on technical, but also social. Um, you are not just designing walls and roof, but you are shaping lives, no, communities and futures. So um every line na ginuguhit natin, no, lahat ng materyales na pinipili natin, um every layout, no, that we propose, no, has a potential to either uplift or limit the people, no, who will live in those spaces. So, the challenge here, no, is to balance three things. So, ano ba tong tatlong to? Yung affordability, sustainability, and human dignity as well. So, ibig sabihin nito, we are respecting the laws, no, which is the RA 7279, the BP 220, the PP 344 as well. Um, but also going beyond compliance, no, um, is to ensure that designs truly serve people. So we have to remember that housing is a human right, no? So we are entrusted as an architects, no, with the responsibility to make uh that right a reality. The homes we design today, no, will shape the communities of tomorrow, as we have said. Okay? So let's proceed now, no, with our next topic. Okay, so let's share our slides. Okay. So let's now discuss the sustainable and resilient housing, design principles and disaster preparedness. So this is a current situation that is relevant to us, no? So sustainable and resilient housing. So bakit pa importante, no? So sa Pilipinas, marami tayong naranasang bagyo, no, pagbaha, no, at lindol almost every year. So, at the same time, no, we're dealing with the rapid urbanization and housing shortages. So, our challenge is to is to design, no, um is to design homes and communities that are safe, affordable, and future ready. Okay? So, um, from using local materials, no, and smart design, incorporating disaster resilient features so that we can create housing solutions, no, that really serve Filipino families, no. So um by end of our discussion, no, dapat masagot natin nung how do we design homes, no, that are not just beautiful but also safe, sustainable, no, and empowering for communities. Okay? So, so why sustainable and resilient housing? So, again, no, um, why do we even need to focus on this? No, una is climate change, of course, no? So, probably we notice that during summer, mas mainit na ngayon. Then, we are experiencing stronger typhoons, no? And floodings that seems to happen more often, no? Mas madalas kahit na konting ulan lang, meron na tayong baha, no? Because climate change affects housing directly, no? So, with this, karaniwan yung mga bubong natin ay natatanggal because of wind, no? Walls collapse because of eroding soils, no? And low-lying areas get submerged easily by water. So this means no, we can't just build houses the same way we did 20 or 30 years ago. So kailangan meron na tayong pagbabagong gawin, no, in terms of designing and building these houses, no? So second, disasters in the Philippines. So among the countries, no, we have we are ranked among the top disaster prone countries, no, in the world. So we get what, an average of 20 typhoons every year, no? And also with that, no, we are seated, no, on the Pacific Ring of Fire, kung saan andoon yung madalas na lindol, no? And then the risk in collapsing yung ating um mga bundok and all because andun yung linya kung saan yung mga volcanoes are connected with each other, no? So, our homes and communities must be able to withstand these hazards, no, in climates, okay? So, third, housing as human rights, no? So, the United Nations recognizes yung ating housing as as a basic human right, no? So dito sa atin, we have millions of informal settlers who are vulnerable, no, every time there's a storm or fire. So as future architects, no, we have a moral responsibility to design housing that is not only affordable but also safe and dignified. So the goal, no, is not just to build houses but to create home that can survive disasters, use resources wisely, and uplift people's lives, no? So yun yung ating um mga kailangang gawin. So let's take an example, no, with the Typhoon Yolanda, no. So maraming bahay ang nasira and because hindi siya built to withstand winds, no? Imagine if we design better back then, no? Siguro mas maraming nakaligtas at mas maraming um buhay ang hindi nasayang, no? So Um, with this 'no, karaniwan nating nararanasan 'to during bagyo, yung mawalan ng power, tubig, even we don't feel safe in our own shelters because, um, andun yung we are prone 'no, to hazard, climates 'no. So, uh, with this 'no, kailangan natin ng foundation of a good design, okay? So next. So we have core principles of sustainable housing. So meron tayong three pillars of this, no? So these are energy efficiency, water conservation, and sustainable materials. So dun muna tayo sa una, which is yung ating energy efficiency. Okay? So energy efficiency means using less electricity while keeping spaces comfortable, no? Dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, alam naman natin na napakamahal ng electricity. So, it's a big deal already, no, on how we we can manage to live equally. Okay? So, imagine a house that stays cool, no, without aircon dahil siya ay well-oriented at properly shaded. So, this saves the family money every month, no? Kasi siyempre, the more na mainit yung kwarto, the more na nagwo-work yung inyong aircon, no? Pero kung yung inyong rooms are properly placed, no? Kung halimbawa, kung summer or kailangan niyo talagang mag-aircon, hindi siya gano'n magwo-work thoroughly, 'no? Hindi siya mahihirapan na palamigin yung inyong rooms. By a few minutes, malamig na siya. So, that saves a family money every month, 'no? So, the money that you will use on expensive electricity can be diverted to food, education, and healthcare. Okay? So second, water conservation. So, siyempre 'no, kailan ba natin nararanasan 'tong water, shortage? Usually during summer, 'di ba? So many barangays 'no, suffer or, water interruptions during the dry months. So, by designing homes that use water wisely, so ano yung mga 'yan, low flow faucets, or we can introduce rainwater harvesting, no? And then the gray water reuse, no? So by this, no, we can help families to stay resilient even when supply is low. So recycling is and reusing of water is very important. Okay? So next, yung pinakahuli natin, which is yung sustainable materials. Okay? So, sustainable materials, we choose materials that is resilient. Okay? So, um, locally sourced materials, especially like bamboo, cocoa lumber, or even recycled aggregates, no, have lower carbon footprints compared to imported materials. Plus also, it supports what? Local industries, no? So as architects, no, we have the power to select materials that are safe, durable, and kind to environment. So these three pillars, no, uh, or core principles, energy, water, and materials, are the backbone of sustainable housing. So if we can get this right, no, we already solve a big part of our housing problem. So yun yung ating kailangang i-look forward no when designing. Okay? So next. So why energy efficiency is critical in the Philippines. So energy efficiency, which is one of the most impactful ways to make housing sustainable, no? So electricity rates among Asian country, sa Philippines ang pinakamataas. Isa sa pinakamataas. So, tulad ng sinabi nga natin kanina, when we design a house that stays cooler naturally, no, or uses energy efficient lighting and appliances, so yung mga um uh yung mga low energy efficient na appliances, you must be consider that, like the inverters, no? We are literally helping families save hundreds or thousands of pesos every month. So, um, yung savings na yan, no, we can go to more important things like food, education, and healthcare. So, in the legal context, no, the Philippine government supports energy efficient through the RA 9513, which is in the Renewable Energy Act, no. So this law encourages the use of renewable energy and efficient systems, no, by giving tax incentives and net metering, no, for solar installation. So ito yung sinasabi natin na when we design energy efficient homes, no, we are not just being practical, but we're also aligning with national policy. Okay? So, with this, no, yung paglalagay ng solar panels, no, within our homes, no. So, alam naman natin na medyo mahal yan. But, as times goes by, no, along the way, magiging ano rin yan, effective. So, in terms of that, pwede ka na magbenta ng electricity sa Meralco mismo. Okay? Yan. So, as a challenge, no, we need to think beyond just putting air conditioners everywhere. We need to design buildings that require less cooling in the first place, no? So, that means smart orientation, good insulations, and maximizing natural ventilation, no? Um, wherein the passive design strategies come in, which is yun yung ating susunod na i-discuss, no? So, next. So, passive design strategies. So, passive cooling, no, is a survival in tropical country like the Philippines itself, no? So, ito, no, yung pinaka simplest and most cost-effective way to make homes energy efficient, no? So, ano yung mga yan, mga pwede nating gawin with this? So, una is the building orientation, no? Use shading devices, or maximize natural ventilation as well. So, dun muna tayo sa building orientation. So, sa Pilipinas, alam naman natin, no, na there is an intense heat from the sun. So, if we orient our buildings, no, with its longer sides facing um north, no, and the shorter sides, no, is on the southwest. So, we minimize the amount of heat, no, lalo na sa afternoon, which is hitting the walls. Alam naman natin that the hottest part of our house, no, pagka naka-orient ka into direction is the south area. Because dito yung intense heat natin, which is the south and southwest. Okay? So, we um we referred, no, to orient our buildings na most likely north area, no? Ayan. So, yung decision na 'to, no, alone can keep interior cooler by several degrees, 'no? Siyempre may mararamdaman ka pa ring init, but siyempre hindi na gano'n kainit lalo na kung, yung bahay mo, eh, mali yung orientation, okey? So, next is shading devices. So, one of the architectural features 'no, like breezoles 'no, um, eaves, awnings, and verandas 'no, hindi lang siya for aesthetics but a powerful tool 'no, to reduce heat gain. So, think of the traditional houses that we have 'no, which, often we have a deep overhangs and shaded porches 'no. Hindi lang siya pampaganda but it's a functional climate responses 'no. So next is the natural ventilation. So positioning your windows across from each other creates a cross ventilation allowing breeze to move through the houses, okay? So by using yung ating mga breeze blocks, no, or yung ating ventilation blocks, no, and then instead of using a sliding window, we use jalousies or the um, blade windows, no, or a high clerestory openings, which you can push hot air out. Yung mga clerestory na yan, no, hindi yan nilagay dahil gusto lang. It is put dyan sa itaas ng mga ating mga windows and doors para lumabas yung mainit na hangin. 'Di ba alam naman natin that hot air goes up. Okay? So, um, with this, no, we reduce the use of electric fans and air cons as well. So the beauty of passive strategies is that they cost almost nothing. You just need to think, no, and incorporate it in your design and plan them properly. So, you use the advantage of environment, no, to save energy and keeping families comfortable. So, yan yung ating goals, no, to make uh, a responsive design. Okay? So, next is building envelope optimization. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin nito? So, improving and yung ating envelope reduces cooling needs, no? So, after we oriented the house properly and maximize the our natural ventilation, no? So, the next step is to strengthen the building envelope. So, ano ba tong building envelopes? So, these are walls, roofs, and openings na that separate indoors from the outdoors. So, number one is the insulated roofs, no? Or reflective roofs, no? And in our tropical climate, the roof absorbs a huge amount of heat, no? By using reflective roofing materials. So, ano yung mga yan? For example, is light colored metal sheets or even cool roof coatings, no? So, we can reduce heat transfer inside our homes. Okay? So, yun yung ating kailangang ma-consider. So, adding insulations under the roof, no, such as the polyethylene foam or the fiberglass, keeps the interior cooler and reduces the need or for air conditioning. So, yun yung isa. The next is better windows. So, when we say better windows, glass can be a major source of heat, no? So, with the uh, with the major source of heat natin, dahil alam naman natin na pag ang glass ay nainitan, no? So, hindi niya nire-reflect yon. Ina-absorb niya yan papunta sa loob, okay? So, ano yung pwede nating gawin? we need to use a low E or low emissive low emission glass, no? Or even simple shading films can dramatically cut the amount of solar heat, no? Entering a room. So for affordable housing, even just using uh blade windows or the jalousies or proper overhangs can make a big difference. Okay? So that's in better indoor comfort. So a well-optimized envelope no, creates a more stable indoor temperature. So meaning no residents won't need to run their fans or air conditioners as as much. So this saves money, no, reduces power demand and keeps everyone more comfortable, especially during brownouts or hot summer days. Okay? So this is where architects have to balance performance with cost. So we need to choose solutions that are effective but still affordable, no? Siyempre yun naman yung ating goal eh, no? So dapat hindi tayo gagastos ng malaki. So particularly for socialized housing projects, no, under the PP 220. Okay? So next, active renewable systems. So ano ba tong active renewable systems, no? So these are solar potential, no? So after we maximize passive strategies in optimizing the building envelope, no? So we can take things a step further with active renewable systems. So technologies that actually generate clean energy for the home. So number one is solar panels, no? So these are uh excellent solar potentials, no, with sunshine available all throughout the year, no? So by installing solar panels on the roofs, no, household can generate what? Their own electricity. So for some families, this means significantly lower monthly bills or even selling excess power, back to the grid through net metering, which is supported by the RA 9513, no? But again, we need to check kung kaya ba talaga ng budget. Okay? So, battery storage. Solar panels no work best when combined with batteries. So, mm, this energy generated no during the day can be stored and used at night. So, this is especially useful no in rural barangays, which is or the off-grid areas where electricity supply is unreliable. So, dun talaga nagagamit yan. Okay? So, government incentives. So, again, no, yung ating RA 9513, which is the Renewable Energy Act, no, offers a tax incentive and subsidies, no, for those who adopt renewable energy technology. So, this is a great opportunity, no, for us, no, to design housing projects that are future ready and cost effective. So, ang pinaka-importante dito is that we are no longer just designing consumers of electricity. We can now design uh, producers of clean energy. So this shifts communities towards energy independence and resilience. Okay? So next, water conservation. So water scarcity no is a growing issue dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So um alam naman natin na abundant yung tubig sa Pilipinas dahil we are in a archipelagic type of country, no? So marami sa atin nakapaligid sa tubig. But uh dito sa atin, no, isa to sa seryosong problema, yung tubig, no? So during the dry months 'no, maraming barangay lalong-lalo na kahit sa Metro Manila mismo, experience, water service interruptions 'no. Rural areas on the other hand 'no, sometimes depend on deep wells that, dries up during summer. So, why water conservation matters? Ibig sabihin, bakit nga ba? It saves family money on monthly water bills. It reduces stress on water supply system, which are often overburdened no, in growing cities. So it also what? It makes households more resilient during shortages or disasters when water delivery is limited. So water conservation no doesn't just mean using less water. It also means what? Yung reusing or managing waters smarter. So this is where yung ating good plumbing design, for example, also the rainwater harvesting and gray water reuse comes in. Okay? So our role as architects no is to think ahead. How can this house still function during week-long water interruption? So if we plan water systems wisely, we help families stay healthy and maintain hygienic no, during this crisis. Okay? So next, uh, water efficient plumbing. So, ano ba yung water efficient plumbing? So fixtures save water aligned with the law, no? So the first step, no, in saving water is through efficient plumbing design. So making sure fixtures use just enough water without wasting it. Okay? So low flow fixtures, ito yung um shower heads with dual and also dual flush toilets, no? Can cut water use by up to 30 to 50%. For example, yung ating dual flush toilets uses less water for liquid waste and a bit more no for solid waste, which is saving thousands of liters per year. Okay? So, complying with RA 1378 or yung ating National Plumbing Code. So, this law no sets the minimum standards uh for water supply and sanitation in the Philippines. So, as future architects, we have to make sure that our designs comply, not only for safety but also for efficiency. So, following code, no, helps us avoid undersized pipes, leaks, and poor water pressure that leads to water waste. Okay, so next is the gray water reuse, no? So gray water reuse, no, is a system. So ano ba yung gray water? Gray water is water from sink, showers, and laundry. Hindi yung from toilet, ha? So, black water yon. So, the gray water, no, with proper filtering, it can be reused for flushing toilets, no? Cleaning or watering the gardens. Even small scale system can help reduce water bills, no? And conserve precious potable water. So we have to remember that good plumbing design is not just about getting water into the house, but it's also using every drop of it wisely. Okay? So, discuss naman natin ngayon yung itong mga pwede nating gamitin para makatipid ng tubig. So, the rainwater harvesting. Okay? Okay. So, let's talk about naman yung ating rainwater harvesting. Okay? So, rainwater as resource and mitigation. Okay? So, this one no, is a great way to make housing more sustainable, yung ating rainwater harvesting. So, simple lang, capturing and storing rainwater for later use. Okay? Ganon. So, collect and store water. And store rainwater, okay? Now, sa yung concept niya, madali lang intindihin, no? So, rainwater falls from the roof and then um gets channeled through gutters, then passes through a basic filter, no? And then stored sa tank. Okay? Then from the tank, no, this water can be used, no, by flushing toilets, no, and cleaning or watering plants. So some advanced system, no, can make rainwater potable after proper treatment. Okay? So next, yung ating local ordinances encourage use, no? So in many cities in the Philippines, for best example is the Quezon City, no? Developers are required to include rainwater catchment facilities for new projects, no? So this helps address both water shortages and flooding problem as well, no? Kasi yung mga sobrang tubig naiipon sa ating rainwater harvesters, okay? So flood reduction benefit, no? So by collecting rainwater, no, we reduce runoff that could otherwise contribute to the urban flooding. So mitigating flooding because of this is a great idea. So, imagine if every house in the barangay had its own tank of rainwater harvesting. So, that's a thousands of liters of water, no, that won't go straight to the streets and drains during the storm. So, for architects, no, planning for rainwater is very um helpful. It is not complicated, no? Hindi naman gano'n ka ano, it is just requiring forethought, no, in the roof design, gutter placement, and space for storage of tanks, no? It's a small design decision with a big community impact, okay? So, it's a great idea for everyone, no? So next, sustainable materials. So, material choice, no, impacts cost and sustainability. So, it embodied energy reduce, no? So every material we use, no, has what we call embodied energy. Ano ba yun? So the energy spent, no, to extract, process, and transport and install it, no? So concrete, for example, has a very um high embodied energy dahil sa cement production, no? So, when we choose materials with lower embodied energy like bamboo, recycled wood, or locally sourced bricks, no? We reduce projects carbon footprint. Okay? So, yun yung kailangan nating ma-embody. So, next is yung ating life cycle view. So, life cycle perspectives, no, we need to consider a material dun sa entire life cycle niya. Not just the installation, but the maintenance and eventually disposal. For example, a cheap material that breaks down quickly, no, and has to be replaced every 5 years might be more expensive in the long run than a slightly pricier but durable options, no? So, local plus recycled, ito naman is a very affordable option, no? So, using locally available materials like again the cocoa lumber, bamboo, or recycled aggregates, no, can drastically cut cost, no, while supporting local livelihoods. So, it also reduces emissions from transporting materials from far away, okay? So, Um, as architects, no, our material choices can either harm or heal the environment. So, kailangan yung isip natin, um, makakatulong ba 'to sa sustainability ng design, 'no? So, again, 'no, kahit na medyo mahal yung iba, it helps us design houses, 'no, that is affordable, durable, and eco-friendly in a long run, okay? So, yun yung mga kailangan nating, um, maisip, okay? So, locally sourced materials. So, ito yung mga traditional and sustainable local materials. So, locally sourced materials, dito tayo. So, traditional, so sustainable local materials, okay? So, ito yung isa sa simplest way, no, to make the housing sustainable, no? Siyempre, yung use ng locally available materials natin. So, bamboo muna. So, bamboo, no, often called the green steel of the Philippines because it's fast growing, lightweight, no, and very strong if treated properly. So, it can be used for flooring, no, walls, and even structural framing. So, plus, no, it's part of our cultural heritage, no. Think of the traditional bahay kubo, no? So, it stand, it test time, no? Na yung longevity natin, basta tama yung pagkakagamit. Okay? So, coconut lumber, no? Great alternative to traditional wood with proper treatment, no? It becomes durable enough, no, for housing components like roof framing and partitions as well. It also helps what? Utilize coconut trees that are no longer productive, no? So giving farmers an extra income source of income. Okay? So nipa and other natural fibers. So nipa, palm, no, and similar materials can be used for roofing, no, wall panels and partitions. They are breathable and help keep interiors cool as well. Okay? So using local materials, no, reduces transport cost, which means lower carbon emissions, no, and cheaper housing construction. It also supports local economies by creating um demand for community-based productions, no? So, as architects, no, we can help revive these traditional industries while creating modern, climate-appropriate designs, no? So, it is our call for this. Okay? So, next, recycling recycled and low embodied energy. Okay? So, recycling the Philippine context, no? So, another powerful way ito, no, in housing sustainability, no? So, recycled or low embodied energy. So, fly ash concrete and recycled aggregate. So, ano ba yon? So, the fly ash concrete, no, is a byproduct of coal power plants, no? And instead of letting it go to waste, it can be mixed with cement, no? To make concrete stronger and more durable. So while reducing the need for new raw materials, no? Um, Similarly, crushed old concrete can be reused as aggregates, no? For road base or non-structural components as well. Sa mga floors, ganyan. No? So, reclaim wood and steel. So, old wood from demolished houses or construction sites, no, can be treated and reused for furniture, partitions, or decorative elements. Okay? So, reclaimed steel naman can also be reforged, no, for new construction. So this practice not only saves money but also reduces demand, no, for logging and mining. Okay? So waste reduction. So by reusing materials, we prevent them, no, from ending up in landfills and give them a second life. Okay? So this approach, is especially helpful lalo na sa post-disaster scenarios, well, wherein debris can be salvaged, no, and repurposed for rebuilding. So, as future architects, no, thinking about how to design and reclaim um uh and recycled materials, no, allows us to lower construction cost, reduce environmental impact, and create a truly sustainable housing projects. Okay? So, punta naman tayo dito sa Verde Framework. So, ano ba to? So, this is the Philippines' own green rating system. Oh, no? So, let's see, no, how we can measure and certify your building is truly green, no? So, Verde Framework, which is the Verde stands for Building for Ecologically Responsive Design Excellence, no? So, sa Pilipinas, ito yung ating very own green building rating system. Okay? So, na-develop 'to, no, ng Philippine Green Building Council or the PhilGBC, no? So, ano ba yung maganda dito sa Berde? Um, that, uh, the yung context nito specifically, no? So, it considers the realities of our climate, no? Economy and available materials as well. So, it measures the project's performance, no, in areas like sa energy efficiency. So, are you reducing power consumption? No? For the water efficiency, are you reusing or conserving water? For waste management, do you minimize construction waste, no? For the indoor environment quality naman, are you providing a healthier air or good lighting, no? And then for architects, no, Verde serves as a both design guide and benchmark, no? Even if your project doesn't get certified, applying Verde principles ensures your design meets a high sustainable standards. And many developers now require this. Okay? So, this is specifically important, no, for public housing or socialized housing projects. So, where we want to maximize yung ating limited resources while improving livability. Okay? So, next, ito naman yung lead certification. So, um, kung yung bird is local, no, then we have the international counterpart, which is yung ating LEED certification, no? So, ano ba yung LEED? So, LEED, no, stands for um the leadership in energy and environmental design, no? And it's one of the most widely used, no, green building rating systems in the world, no? It was developed by the US Green Building Council, no? But is now applied globally, including syempre dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. So, like Verde, no, lead measures performance in categories, no, like energy and atmosphere, which is efficiency, renewable energy use. Water efficiency, indoor and outdoor water savings. So materials and resources, use of recycled and low impact materials. Then indoor environmental quality like air, light, acoustics, yan kasama. So, ano bang difference nito sa Verde? No? So the lead is internationally recognized. Yun lang naman yun. So developers who want to market to global investors often prefer this. So for example, many grade A office buildings no in Global City, which is the BGC, are LEED certified because it attracts multinational tenants for you no as future architects. So knowing how LEED works no gives you an edge, specifically if you work on projects no with international clients or in a multinational firms, no. So you need to apply and consider this, okay? So isa pa sa mga pwede natin gamitin, pwede tayong maging lead accredited professionals, no. So you just take an examination for this, and this is a valuable credentials na for careers abroad, okay? So now that we've seen no how sustainability can be measured, so mag-shift naman tayo dun sa other ano natin sa half ng ating discussion, which is yung resilience, no? So and how we design housing that can stand disasters. Okay? So okay. So resilient housing, this is disaster resistant. So it is an urgent consideration no, when we say resilient housing in the Philippines. No? So sustainability is only half equation, no? We also need resilience. So a sustainable house that collapses during typhoon, is it truly sustainable, no? Kahit na sabihin mong sustainable lahat ng ginamit mong materials and all, kinonsider mo lahat. Eh kung nasira naman siya during typhoon, sustainable pa ba yun? Siyempre, hindi na. Kasi hindi siya nag-stand dun sa disaster, okay? So dapat um we consider this typhoon-proof roofs and anchorages, no? So sa Pilipinas, maraming um pinaka-major threat ang lakas ng hangin, no? Yung strong winds. So roofs must be properly anchored to the walls, no? To avoid being blown off. So simple design choices like using hip roofs, no? Instead of gable roofs can reduce wind uplift, no? So roof straps or cyclone ties, no, can make a huge difference in keeping the structure intact. Okay? So next, earthquake resistant structures. Again, since we sit on the Pacific Ring of Fire, no, earthquakes resilience is essential, no? So following the National Structural Code of the Philippines is a must, no? So kailangan nating i-consider 'yan. So it is a must, no? So this includes what? Proper reinforcement, shear walls, no? And symmetrical floor plans, no, to avoid collapse during shaking. So next, yung ating stronger connections and bracing. So a house, no, is only as strong as its connection. So bracing walls, no, mga tie beams and columns, no, which is properly designed, no, has securing openings, no, can make homes withstand both lateral and vertical loads, no. So as architects, no, our role is to integrate these requirements into our design, not as afterthought, but as a part of initial concepts. So this keeps communities safe, no, prevents loss of life, and reduces the cost of rebuilding after disasters. So ito, no, um, yung ating BP 220 and NSCP is mandatory, no, to ensure safety. So now that we know how to make houses stronger, so um, isipin naman natin yung flooding, no, which is one of the biggest urban problems, no? So ito naman yung ating um gagamitin, which is yung flood mitigation strategies. Okay? So, flood mitigation strategies, no? So, um, these are the challenges that we are facing right now. Okay? So, sustainability is only part of it, no? Again, as we have said. So, sustainable houses that collapses during typhoon isn't truly sustainable as we have said, no? So, ano ba ang pwede natin gawin with this? So, um, flooding, no, is one of the most common problems dito sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa Metro Manila, no? So, um, if we want housing to be resilient, no, it has to be designed to survive floods. So number one, elevated housing design, no? So one of the simplest strategies is to raise the floor level of the house, no, above the flood line. This can be done using stilts, no? Like the traditional bahay kubo that we have, no? Um, Many resettlements projects now require a minimum elevation to avoid water intrusion. Okay? So, next, permeable pavements and drainage. So, ito yung sinasabi natin, no? Huwag nating sisementohin lahat. Bakit? Siyempre, pag sinemento mo lahat, unang-una, it contributes to the heat gain. And second, namamatay yung lupa, no? So, ano yung pwede nating options? We use permeable paving blocks or gravel paths, no? And proper drainage channels, no? Which allows yung mga rainwater, no, to soak into the natural ground, no, rather than pooling on streets. So, mas maganda yung gano'n na nasisip-sip niya yung tubig pabalik dun sa lupa. Okay? So, rain gardens and biowells. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito? These are landscape depressions na designed to absorb and filter rainwater. So they can be integrated into community parks or open spaces, no? Aside from reducing flooding, they improve the beauty and microclimate of the neighborhood. So, as architects again, no? We should think about site planning, not just the house itself, to make sure no na yung entire community can handle heavy rains. Designing for flood mitigation is cheaper than disaster recovery. Okay? So next, yung ating Philippine codes and laws, no? So, everything that we've discussed, no, from energy efficiency to disaster resilience, no, must be anchored on our Philippine building laws and codes. So number one, again, yung ating National Building Code, no? Yung ating Biblia, the PD 1096. So, this is our baseline, no? It sets minimum requirements for safety, structural stability, fire protection, sanitation, and accessibility. So, whatever sustainable or resilient strategies we must, no? We use here, no, must be still comply with the law. Okay? So, the Philippine Green Building Code, no? This is relatively supplements the PDT 96. So, um it encourages energy and water um efficiency, no? Yung ating proper um material use, no? And good indoor environmental um quality. So if your project no has a mm, large enough no like a big housing development, compliance with this code is a mandatory. Okay? So next is yung ating RA um 9513, which is yung ating Renewable Energy Act, no? So ito naman supports the use of solar panels, biogas, and other renewable energy system, no? By offering yung incentives like tax breaks and net metering. So this means household can sell excess solar power, no, back to the grid. So making a renewable energy more accessible. So with these codes, no, it is not just about passing board exam for you, no, as future architects. It's about designing legally compliant, safe, and forward-thinking housing that improves the quality of life, no, for Filipinos. Okay? So now let's see yung ating mga real-world examples of for sustainable and resilient housing projects in the Philippines that apply these principles. So number one, no, again, the Bistekville in Quezon City, no? So this project again, no, is a partnership between the local government and NGOs with beneficiary family. So ito yung sinasabi natin nung nakaraang lecture, which is um yung sa s- sweat payments, no? So ito, no, gumawa sila ng rainwater collection and green design elements to make it the which lowers cost, no, yung kanilang water and electrical. So next is yung ating Gawad Kalinga naman, no, which Enchanted Farms, no. Um they go beyond housing by including livelihood programs, education for children, and community empowerment. So the holistic approach, no, to poverty alleviation that transforms entire communities, not just individual homes, no. So next, yung ating typhoon resilient housing in Leyte, no, which after the Typhoon Yolanda, no, several NGOs and design groups built elevated, reinforced homes that could withstand future storms, no? So these designs use stronger roofs, proper bracing, and hazard mapping to avoid high-risk areas. Okay? So this project shows that sustainable and resilient housing is possible. And also know that good design has really impact on people's lives. Okay? So, nakita na natin 'no, kung paano ba yung, ideas that can work in real life 'no. So, to top it all 'no, so, um, sustainability 'no, we natutunan natin 'no, how to save energy with passive cooling, use water efficiently through low flow fixtures and rainwater harvesting 'no. And of course, the choice of eco-friendly materials like bamboo, recycled aggregates, and low-embodied energy products. Okay? So, resiliency. So, we explored no, kung paano ba yung pagdi-design ng homes no, that can withstand typhoons, earthquakes, and flood by using proper anchorages, bracing, and a proper site planning. Okay? So ano ba yung role natin no in as an architects no? So ito yung pinakaimportante sa lahat yung consideration ng ating role. So tayo no as and kayo as future architects no are not just designing houses, we are designing communities. So our work no can make housing affordable, safe, and empowering for families. So good architecture uplifts lives. So these principles no aren't just for theory. You can apply them in your design plates, your thesis, and eventually in your professional practice. Imagine how that being part of the solution of the Philippines housing crisis is a good opportunity for you to bring back what we had. Okay? So, um to end this, no, housing again is a human right. No. So it is not just a shelter. It is dignity. Yung housing. Okay? So, um how will you design for people, no, not just buildings? So, um every line, no, na dinodraw natin as an architect, no, has the power to impact a family's safety, comfort, and future. So when you design with empathy, no, you go beyond form and function. You design for people. So isipin natin to, no, that projects you work, no, on in the future could be whether children take their first steps, where families gather during storms, and where communities grow together. So, ito yung challenge sa atin, no? So, no? Um, let's ask ourselves, am I designing just a building or am I creating a better life for the people who will live here, no? So, that is the heart of sustainable and resilient architecture. Okay? So, ayan, no? As the next generation of Filipino architects, no? Your designs can shape a more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive nation. So, thank you for listening.